to this week's Cruise Chat. I'm Kathleen Penner, owner of Plenty of Sunshine Travel, and today I'm joined by Neil, and Neil is from Amawaterways, and I'm very excited to meet with Neil again. I've met with him one time in the past, so if you'll notice on our YouTube channel that I have all playlists for all the different cruise lines that I've met with, so be sure to check out the other videos when we're done this one because it's got some great information. But today we're just going to be talking about some really exciting and new itineraries, and I'm looking forward to it. So over to you, Neil.
Well, thank you, Kathleen. So yeah, I was excited to do another of these great episodes with Kathleen. And yeah, it was really because we're constantly changing. We are constantly upgrading. Our owner, Rudy, he's referred to as the godfather of river cruising for a very good reason. He's always the innovator, always bringing in something new and exciting. So I thought this is the perfect opportunity to really talk about some of our new itineraries, some of our new experiences that we've got starting even this year into 22 and even into 2023. Just to kind of go through, because these are all going to be brand new for your listeners to hear all about. So
super.
Yeah. So of course that's me, and nobody needs to know me because I strictly work with our lovely travel advisors such as Kathleen. So one of the things I do want to mention, now this isn't brand new. The AmaMagna did debut on the rivers in 2019, but it might be new for guests because of course this is the world's largest river cruise ship, and it was really built pre-COVID, obviously, with ocean cruisers in mind. And I know, Kathleen, you'll definitely be able to attest to this, but a lot of ocean cruisers, they are hooked on the world of cruising, but they kind of look to river cruising, if they've not done it before, as, oh, I'm not old enough yet to do a river cruise, or there's not going to be enough to do on my river cruise ship like there is on my boutique ocean cruises that I'm used to going on. So Rudy, our owner, knew all about this, and he built the AmaMagna with those exact cruisers in mind. So like I said, it is the world's largest river cruise ship. It's twice as wide as any regular river cruise ship on the river, but it has all our same core features. So we still say it is a sister ship just with twice the amount of space, and it's perfect for any of your guests who are really ocean cruisers. And we know now, especially since COVID has happened, that people are still a little leery about cruising, and really that apprehension is towards the ocean cruise ships because of some of the unfortunate things that happen on board. And the interesting thing is that the world of river cruising is very different to our ocean cruising cousins because we only have fresh air on every area of the ship, your cabins, the public space, things like that. Whereas on an ocean cruise ship, it's recirculated air, much like an airplane. So those kinds of transmissions can happen on those vessels, but they can't actually happen on a river cruise ship. And what we've found is that all those ocean cruisers who are like, I think I'll wait another year before I book my cruise experience, have really welcomed over into the world of river cruising, specifically on the AmaMagna, because it has 4 restaurants that are included. It's got that rooftop heated pool, it's got multiple lounges, and it's got suites that you normally would only find on a boutique ocean ship, 355 square feet up to 710 square feet. So the AmaMagna has become an extremely popular choice, especially for those guests who are, like I said, a little leery about going back. They're willing to go over here because it has all the same amenities and features, and it is on the rivers. So, so that's just a nice little one. And I really just wanted to mention it because even though it came out in 2019, the benefits of the AmaMagna have really become first and foremost since COVID has hit, and hopefully is coming behind us very, very soon. So, but some of the onboard and onshore enhancements, again, a couple of things. My AmaCruise app, this came out we started introducing her in 2018 on a couple of ships. It was in our full fleet by the end of the 2019 season. And it's unique in the sense that we are the only river cruise line to have an app for our guests to use both before, during, and after their river cruise. And yes, it has all sorts of information on the cruise and their documents, all the usual things that you'd expect. But my favorite part is the photo taking capability. So I know that you and all of your guests who are listening have probably all been on a guided tour. You've taken a tour, you've listened to that tour guide tell you all about those beautiful, beautiful sights, and you take picture upon picture upon picture to remember everything that you're seeing. And you get back home after your 1 or your 2-week vacation, and you start looking back through those hundreds and hundreds of pictures, and you look back at some of these going, I have absolutely no idea what that is, let alone why I took a picture of this place. So if you take all of your pictures through the My AmaCruise app, all of the notes that the tour guide gave you on that day can automatically be linked to the pictures you took that day, form into your own digital photo album for you to look at for years and years and remember every part of your Amawaterways River Cruise experience. And of course, with one simple click, it's uploaded to your favorite social media site to share with everyone, whether that's Facebook or Instagram. So, so we're excited because the Cruise app is on, it's on every single one of our ships in Europe. It's on our ship as well down into Southeast Asia, and even our newest ship over on the Nile in Egypt. So, so it's a great, great app, and we're very excited. And of course, there'll be more and more features that are coming through the app each and every year as well. So, and of course, then the health and safety protocols, like I said, we've resumed river cruising as of July. In fact, all the river cruise lines have. But the interesting fact is we were the only North American river cruise line to actually cruise last year in 2020. Before the vaccines were even out, there was us, along with 17 other European-based river cruise lines. We were just cruising for our European passengers, but over 35,000 passengers traveled last year, completely incident-free. So it really just goes to show that obviously no issues on a river cruise. Guests can come back, river cruise with absolute peace of mind. And like I said, all of the river cruise lines have been operating now since the beginning of July this year. Over 250,000 passengers have already cruised the rivers of Europe. Again, completely incident-free. So it's it really is reassuring for your guests to know all about that too. So,
wow.
Oops. So this is just a map, of course, of all of the different rivers that we cruise in and around the world. Of course, you've got Europe, a few exotic destinations outside of continental Europe. But what I really wanted to do today was focus on each of the rivers, because yes, we've got something brand new on each of the rivers, whether it's a new ship, a new river cruise, a new experience. So I thought it'd be perfect just to tell all of your guests all of the updates, all of the new things since the last time we had spoken as well. So on the Danube, of course, is the most popular river cruise choice for the first time river cruise travelers to go on. But yes, we still constantly have some new itineraries and new experiences that are happening on the Danube. And a few of these are happening in 2023. And we really do listen to our guests. When they say, I would love to see this with Amawaterways, our owners read all of those comments and really try to incorporate them where they can. So there are a couple of new themed itineraries that are coming out in 2023. One is the celebration of classical music. Now down on the lower Danube, especially in countries like Austria and Hungary and Slovakia, incredible composers from these areas like Strauss and Mozart and all of those beautiful composers. Of course, Vienna is known for their operas and such. So we want to really develop an itinerary that had themed excursions included every single day for the guests to really celebrate classical music from those regions. So each and every day, there'll be some tour which is focused on classical music in that region. Now, that's not to say that guests who don't like classical music can't go on this, because of course, all of those days will have our regular selection of tours included as well. But this will just allow those guests who maybe have a bit more of an interest for classical music to really take this itinerary and get a full immersive experience about that as well. And also on the lower Danube, these are all beautiful capital cities, either present day or former day capitals. And again, we've designed this cruise to really do some in-depth, really for those great historians who love to go on and learn all about the beautiful history of these cities. So you've got capitals such as Bratislava, you've got Budapest, you've got Salzburg, which was the former capital, you've got Vienna, you've got all of these great capitals on here. So it's a capitals cruise as we're touring along. Now, another thing is, yes, we know the rivers are great, but the rivers don't necessarily go everywhere that we want to go in Europe. So we've always had beautiful land extension packages that guests can add before or after a river cruise. But what makes our land packages exclusive and unique is we are the only river cruise line where ours are escorted by the same cruise manager that you might have just been on your cruise with. So let's say you're doing a 7-night Danube cruise and you're going up to Prague afterwards, which so many of our guests do. It's actually escorted by our cruise manager. So fully escorted on the land and on the river. But we, again, are always listening to our guests because they absolutely love taking these land extensions with us. So we're coming up with some new land extension packages, including over to Krakow, Poland. This is very exciting because Krakow is an absolute stunning city. If you've never been, it really is like seeing some of those beautiful capital cities along the Danube and such. So a great extension package. And we're also doing one up to Salzburg. We've always done tours up to Salzburg for the day, full days to get up there, of course, out of Linz, Austria, where our port city is. It's a long day to get up there, of course, because it's about a 90-minute journey to get up to Salzburg. You get the full day, 90 minutes back. So it's always a long day. And some of our guests would say, listen, I would love to spend extra time in Salzburg. It's magical. You've got all these beautiful buildings, such like that. So our river cruises that actually start or end in Vienna are now going to have an extension package that guests can do up into Salzburg. So we're very excited to add that in 2023 as well. And you and I spoke about this before. This is my absolute favorite river cruise experience. I love the Christmas markets cruises. I cannot get enough of the Christmas markets cruises. And yes, we have them on the Danube. We have them on the Rhine. Very, very popular programs because honestly, Europe does Christmas up unlike anywhere else in the world. Have you done a Christmas markets cruise yet, Kathleen?
I haven't, no. That's one I've always joked and said, you know what, I'm going to wait till I can afford to bring an empty suitcase and bring it back full. So it's just one of those things. I would love it. I know that it would really resonate with me.
Yeah, it's exactly right though, because the very first time I did it, I guess I was naive, or maybe I had the North American way of thinking. I just thought every single city and town that has a Christmas market, it's probably going to be the same things each and every town. It'll look beautiful, but it'll all be the same products. I couldn't have been more wrong, because the whole focus of these is that every city and town, it's the locals that come out, they're in the markets. It's all local crafts, local foods, local everything. And yes, by day 3, I ended up buying too much for the luggage. I had to buy a brand new suitcase when I hit Cologne for the rest of the things that I had bought. So now I'm prepared. I know to always bring a full-size suitcase that is only about half full. So when I return, I've never yet managed to not buy all sorts of amazing things that are unique to those little areas.
Yeah. And I love that you're supporting local artisans as well, and the local people. And I think that's a great way to do it.
No, you're exactly right. Like, I mean, there's some beautiful Christmas markets. If you've ever ventured downtown Toronto that they do in the distillery, the market stalls themselves look exactly like the ones in Europe, but the products, and this is not to bash my locals here in the distillery, because I live like a 5-minute walk. So I still go down there because they've got the glue vine. The whole atmosphere is definitely the same, but all of the products really are big name products on these little beautiful markets. So it's nothing really authentic. It's totally different in Europe. And we're excited because we're now actually having some new Christmas markets experience that are happening either this year or into 2023, including going down on the Gems of Southeast Europe program. Now, this is a lower Danube sailing between Budapest and Bucharest. We've always done this sailing, but we've never really explored their Christmas markets before because they're not quite the same as Western Europe. But again, this itinerary is not the same as going in through Western Europe. It's very different. And what I love about this is that it explores the different Christmas cultures in countries like Romania and Bulgaria and Hungary and all of these different areas and such. So we're very excited. That's going to debut in 2023 for our Christmas markets program. Yeah, so now moving over to the Rhine, of course, another very popular area to river cruise. You've got the 7 up to 12 night river cruise experiences and such. But again, we've got some new experiences and new itineraries that are happening here, including one that actually starts this year. Now, I'm sure that everybody listening has if you've heard of river cruising before, you know that all of the river cruise lines do a tulip time river cruise. The Netherlands and Belgium are world renowned for their amazing tulip displays. And of course, you got these beautiful river cruises to highlight that experience in March, April into early May. But guests have come back saying, well, I don't understand why you only cruise these 2 beautiful countries during the spring season. There is so many beautiful things to see in the Netherlands and Belgium throughout the year. Why don't you have cruises throughout the year? So again, we listened, and starting this year is our Best of Holland and Belgium itinerary. And we're actually going to go to a number of places where our regular tulip time itinerary doesn't, because obviously the tulip time itinerary is focused on the tulips. So you've got some other areas which are just stunning, but they might not have these huge tulip displays like some of the areas do in the south. And this is one of them, Castle de Haar. It's in the Netherlands. It's up on the northwest coast of Holland. And this is not an area we go to in the tulip time. And this castle is one of the most stunning castles in all of Europe. So we're very excited to bring this experience. We're also going to be able to go to other areas of Belgium, including Ghent, Antwerp, Brussels, Bruges. So it really brings in a lot more focus into Belgium. So we're excited about that. She started this year. So this itinerary will actually sail from May through until the end of October every year. And then this one is very exciting. We are the exclusive partners with Ancestry, the pro genealogists firm. Now, I'm sure a lot of people are very familiar with Ancestry. They've become very popular over the last 4 or 5 years. You're constantly seeing them on TV, wanting to learn about your family history. So they decided to take their Ancestry experience to the next level. And that's by actually bringing guests to where their family heritage is from in Europe. So very unique program. So we've partnered with them. We are their exclusive river cruise provider. So what happens is maybe you've got family that is in the Germany area, or maybe the Dutch area, or in the Swiss area, or any of those areas along Europe. And remember, it might not just be your last generation. It could be 2 or 3 generations back, because ultimately we're all, what is it? I think in Canada, it's over 70% have European connections, obviously. So, you know, depending how far back you go. So this program, it's actually a special cruise happening in July of next year. It'll be on the Rhine River between Amsterdam and Basel. And what happens when you sign up is that you actually have a 5-hour video chat or interview with the genealogist before your cruise, usually 3 or 4 months before your cruise even starts. They they get all of your information they need to research your family history. And then when you get on board, they present you with the whole package. You get a one-on-one session with the genealogist who's sailing on board, and they'll actually take you on an exclusive tour off to one of your ancestral areas as well. So totally unique river cruise experience. And yes, if your ancestry or lineage isn't in one of those areas, they are looking to do other cruises in the future as well into other areas. So we're very excited about that. It's kind of a very unique experience for guests to be able to experience over in Europe as well. So, and of course, Floriade. If you don't know about this, Floriade is the world's largest horticultural expo. It happens only every 10 years. And it happens to be taking place in Amsterdam in 2022. So any of our river cruises that go in or out of Amsterdam will have an option for you to go off and experience the Floriade Expo. So something to keep in mind if you are a horticultural enthusiast as well. Now, of course, over into France and Portugal, beautiful areas for river cruises. These rivers are not connected like the rivers are over in Europe. But again, they've all been designed that they could be done in combination with one another. And yes, there are some new things happening, of course, over in these areas as well, including winter cruises on the Rhone. We've never had these before. Now, you'll notice that we're not calling them Christmas markets river cruises on the Rhone. And the reason for that, bigger cities such as Lyon and Avignon have great Christmas markets, but some of the smaller towns and cities that we stop in don't have Christmas markets per se. They have what they call winter shows. It could be a huge light show. It could be a concert in the main town square happening every single evening. So it's a very different experience. And this is where those guests who've done the Christmas markets on the Danube or the Rhine absolutely love it, like me, really wanted to go on and see what it's like in other countries. This is why we've already had so many people interested in doing the Budapest to Bucharest, because again, different experiences for Christmas, and it's the same in France. And this actually starts this year as well. So like I said, always excited with the Christmas experiences, and this is just adding to that program as well. And some of the new land packages that are happening in France starts in 2023. For this one, it's the French Riviera. So if they want to do the Rhone or Saône, we're now going to have a 3-night package that is anchoring the guests in Nice. They'll go off to Côte d'Azur, they'll go off to Monaco and stuff. Very, very popular extension program. And one that started this year was on our new Seine River cruise that goes from Paris to Le Havre, and it's to go over and do an extension into Mount Saint Michel. And this is an absolute, this picture doesn't even do it justice, and this picture itself is stunning. But again, by doing a Seine River cruise, all the companies do round trip out of Paris. We've done one way in order to allow guests to go off and experience this incredible extension, which is just on the west coast of France, but it's kind of a bit too far to really do on a day trip from Paris. So this is why we do the one-way new cruise and have the Mount Saint Michel extension.
It's beautiful. Goodness.
Yeah, it is. It's breathtaking. And then this, we're very excited about this. Now, you might have had some of your guests in the past, Kathleen, who've been world cruisers. I know the term is called world cruises, and those are basically those beautiful boutique ocean cruises that go anywhere from 30 days up to 180 days. Very, very popular. It takes guests all around, of course, various parts of the world. And we kind of thought to ourselves, why doesn't such a beautiful journey like that exist on the rivers? And it really didn't. So we invented such a journey. It debuts in 2023, and we're calling it our 7-river journey. It's actually 45 nights on the rivers. It's 7 different rivers. It's 14 different countries. It really is a world cruise over on the river. Now, we launched this in February. We're very excited about this brand new program that had never been seen before in the world of river cruising. So we launched this beautiful program for June 30th of 2023. Within 4 days of us releasing it, we were 96% sold out.
Okay.
So what does any good company do? We brought out a second river cruise date for guests to choose from. That is our spring sailing on the end of April. It too is now 93% sold out. So yes, we brought out a third date just a couple of weeks ago, folks. It's our fall sailing. I believe it's the end of September. Yes, there's still space. I think it's about 40% sold out. So obviously we were not wrong. Guests really love this idea. And, they're all slightly different depending on the season. The spring one obviously focuses on tulip time, so a bit more time up in the Netherlands and Belgium, but overall 45, 46 nights, incredible experiences, which obviously due to the demand of us when we release these will become an annual cruise as well.
Mm, wow.
Yeah, and the whole idea of longer cruises, longer journeys, especially is very popular now because I think all of the guests listening will all agree, of course, basically, we haven't been able to travel for at least 18 months, some people up to 24 months. And now we are wanting to make up for lost time. So guests have been coming to us saying, we'd love your 7-night journeys, but we'd like to cruise for 14, 21, 28 nights. Is it possible? Yes, we can do combinations on any of our river cruises. So just because you could come to Kathleen and say, listen, I want to do 28 nights in Europe. I'd like to do 21 nights river cruising and 7 nights doing something else. Just because you do not see the product with us doesn't mean it doesn't exist. We can combine any of our river cruises, any of our river cruises together. And we can do the transportation in between. You can do some of our escorted land packages in between if you want to break the river cruises up. Very, very easy to do. And there's actually additional savings for the second, third, and fourth cruises that you do in combination on one trip. They do not have to be done back to back. And that's combinable with whatever the early booking rewards are on those cruises. So it's we're very excited about that new product as well. And then I will talk about our exotic rivers collection because yes, we don't just cruise in Europe. We've got beautiful river cruises on our exotic locales. We were the very first North American river cruise line to have our own ship on the Mekong River. We are the only river cruise line to do a wildlife river cruise experience. And of course, the first ones to launch our own sister luxury ship on the Nile River in Egypt this year. So all sorts of very exciting things. The Mekong is always very popular, 120 guests on our Amadara. The wildlife river cruise that I mentioned is South Central Africa. And the great thing about this is that guests who go to Africa, they really want that wildlife experience. You can't always be guaranteed if you take a land safari. They're always trying to find the animals, but on a wildlife river cruise, we can actually guarantee that you'll see all of the wildlife that's in the area because the Chobe River is the only watering hole between Namibia and Botswana, meaning all of those animals have to come to that river every single day to bathe and feed. And that's where you'll be sitting on our beautiful Zambezi Queen with only 28 guests. Very intimate river cruise experience. Our new destination though that we just launched last month is on the Nile River in Egypt. Now we're very excited about this because yes, other river cruise lines have sailed, but it's not necessarily on their own ship or on a ship of similar design to their ones in Europe, whereas ours is. Rudy designed this ship, has all the beautiful twin balcony suites, the multiple restaurants, all of those things that are included. It's called the Amadalia, 72 guests, 7 nights on the Nile, 3 nights in Cairo before, 1 night in Cairo at the end, and an opportunity to go to either Jordan or Dubai beforehand if you'd like, or to go to Israel after this beautiful experience. Very immersive experience, obviously. Everything's included as far as all of the tours go. And that is a shot. I love showing these back to back. This is what the artist pictured the Amadalia to look like. This is the actual Amadalia. They did a very good job, I think. And in fact, I think the interiors are even more beautiful than the artist could have even imagined. So these are actual live shots from the Amadalia just last month as well. So she has her own brochure. So of course, Kathleen can give you all the information that you're looking for if you'd like to go to that beautiful destination as well. And normally that's where my exotics talk would actually end. But we announced just about a month and a half, 2 months ago, that we're going to be the very first river cruise line to ever sail on the Magdalena River in Colombia. So again, always leading the way in river cruising, always innovative. And what we love about this, it is going to be a wildlife river cruise experience over in South America. South America is just like Africa, some stunning wildlife that you can really only see on the Magdalena River. Now, a lot of guests have said, well, why don't you do the Amazon? And the Amazon is a beautiful, unique river in the heart of the jungle, but all of the wildlife, the majority of it, is in the river and pretty much under the river. So it's not that easy to see some of the animals that are in the jungle. Well, it's not, again, easy to see when you're cruising along the Amazon River. So Magdalena River, as you can see here, beautiful cities and towns, of course, that scatter the Magdalena River. Now on the other side are open areas. This is where all the wildlife is. So again, very much like our Chobe River, you're gonna get to see some very unique wildlife that is on the Magdalena River, along with some absolute stunning cities and towns down here with very colorful architecture. This is a shot of Bogota. Now it's going to be an intimate river cruise. Again, it'll be smaller scale. We don't know the numbers yet. We don't even know the itinerary yet. This is coming in 2023, but our owners have been down there. They are already starting to build and design the ship. So they're very, very excited about this coming out. So again, more and more new things coming each and every time. But I think, Kathleen, I think you are very well aware with river cruising, you always have to book it earlier rather than later. You want to get the best rates, the best offers are always out earlier. And this is very different if you are an ocean cruiser. A lot of times ocean cruisers have that mentality of, well, I'm going to wait for some last minute sales. That doesn't happen on river cruise ships because we are so much smaller. Guests are booking so much further out in advance. So there are great offers always. Dollar savings, offers for solo travelers, things like that. Excuse me. And then we've got those Christmas markets, which I spoke about as well. Triple savings, great offers as far as dollar savings, complimentary upgrades. So if you're interested in those for next year or the 2023, you'll notice I took 2021 off, even though we haven't come there yet. That's because our Christmas markets cruises for this year are over 90% sold out. I think guests have been waiting, obviously a bit hesitant about maybe jumping back on a river cruise ship when we started at the beginning of July. So people haven't necessarily been going full board for July and August. We've been cruising and we've been sailing with smaller capacities and such, but I believe they all figure we are ready. We want to cruise this year, and Christmas markets starting the end of November have become extremely popular for this year. They're not fully sold out, but they are definitely getting there for this year as well. So, so if you're interested, you can certainly talk to Kathleen and she can let you know how to get on. And like I said, we brought out 2023 about 6 months earlier than we normally would. Now, 2022 is 84% sold out the last time I got a check on that. A lot of guests have rebooked because their cruise is suspended, things like that. But we are going to sell out before the end of this year, which doesn't normally happen. So we brought out 2023 6 months earlier because we had a lot of guests saying, I want to plan, I want a river cruise. And we're already almost 40% sold out for 2023. So again, anyone listening, please make sure to get in touch with Kathleen, because the earlier you book, the better offer, and the more likely it is you're going to get the date that it is that you want.
Right.
So, and remember, Kathleen is part of Plenty of Sunshine Travel, which is part of a larger travel organization of which she has exclusive access to about 50 different departure dates where you get additional savings. And these additional savings are generally in the forms of onboard credits, which basically makes our river cruise an all-inclusive experience. So there's a, not only, of course, have you got the benefit of Kathleen's super knowledge, but she also has access to a number of exclusive offers that you won't be able to find anywhere else as well. So
that is very true. Yeah, work with Virtuoso is amazing. And it's nice to see all those perks that they give our clients too.
Exactly. So this is just a list of all our brochures. Everything right now is being done electronically. So again, if you're interested in anything, Kathleen can, of course, send you links to absolutely everything that we have. And of course, if you happen to be a past passenger of Amawaterways, that means you're getting additional benefits in combination with whatever the early booking offers are, whether that's a dollar savings, whether that is some of the Virtuoso offers. These privilege rewards are additional, and you get those in combination with whatever the rewards are as well. So yes, it pays to be a past passenger as well. But folks, I always like to bring specials to Kathleen's show, of course. So if you do make a booking with Kathleen in the next couple of weeks, you're going to get another $200 off per couple. That's in combination with all of these other offers that I have mentioned, of course. And folks, if you do want to sail this year, we actually have a super special. It is New Year's. And if you've never done New Year's over in Europe, this is a spectacular experience. All the cities, all the towns, they really are very, very festive, every single town. So it's a New Year's Christmas markets cruise, because there will still be some holiday markets on in the larger cities such as Vienna, Salzburg, things like that. And it's 2 for the price of 1. And you can only get that through Kathleen. So that's on the 26th of December between Budapest and Vilshoven. So there's a couple of thank you for sticking around to the end. Super specials for you. So
yeah, that's an amazing deal. Wow, 2 for 1. Thank you so much. Fabulous.
Got it. So
Wonderful.
that's all the new and exciting updates that I wanted to bring you, Kathleen. Of course, since the last time we spoke, lots and lots of things obviously going on. We're very excited to be back on the rivers, welcoming guests, and looking forward to all these new itineraries and such as well. So
yeah, well, thank you for putting all that together. That was just fabulous. It was really, really nice to see the new itineraries. I love dreaming about, travel, and I love to book far in advance. So it's good to see that 2023 is out already. So that's amazing. Yeah. So thank you so much. And I want everybody to have a great week. Goodbye, everybody. Oh, yeah. And there's my contact information too. So it's Kathleen at plentyofsunshinetravel.com, and we'll get you all hooked up and get you those amazing deals. Wonderful. Thank you. And goodbye, everybody. Thank you so much for watching this week's cruise chat with Neil from Amawaterways. It was amazing to see some of those gorgeous new itineraries. And I love how they're just creating new experiences and new things for you guys to go and see and do. And I just love Amawaterways. I love their double balconies on their newer ships, the French balcony and the balcony you can step out on. So it's the best of both worlds. And I really enjoy meeting and talking with Neil as well. If you're listening to this on our Cruising the Waves podcast, thank you so much for joining in on that. It means the world to me that you guys are enjoying those podcasts, and I love hearing all the feedback from that. But if you want to see some of the pictures, head on over to our YouTube channel. It is Plenty of Sunshine Travel on YouTube, and then that way you can see all the pictures and all of the exciting things that we have over there as well. And I've met with at least 64 different cruise lines, not different cruise lines, but different times. I believe it's about 20 different cruise lines, and I've made a playlist for each and every cruise line. So if you'd like to, if you're debating on which cruise line you want to go on, what you want to do, I love that you can now make an informed decision, and you can go and you can check that out and see all the different playlists I have there. Next week, I'm going to be meeting with G Adventures. It's going to be the first time that I'm meeting with them, and I really, really like their company. I love that they do sustainable tourism in G Adventures. They primarily seem to do tours, and they have a lot for 18 to 25-year-olds or active people as well. So it's not just, fenced in on an age, but it's an activity. But they also do cruises. So that's really, really neat that they do that as well. So next week, I'm going to be meeting with them. Head on over and join us. If you'd like to subscribe to our channel, please hit that subscribe button, and remember to share with your friends that you'd like to travel with as well. Thank you so much for watching this week, and I'll see you next week. Goodbye, everybody.